When I was young, in the small town of Hangzhou, the future seemed like something far away. There was a common belief that only the children of wealthy or influential families would have access to great opportunities in life. But you know what I discovered? The future waits for no one. It doesn't arrive on its own. You have to build it brick by brick. Every choice, no matter how small, is like a seed planted in fertile soil. Are you planting the right seeds today? I remember one night when I sat with a few friends and said, in 20 years, the world will be driven by the internet. Let's create something that connects small businesses to the global economy. They laughed at me. And honestly, I had no resources, no technical knowledge, and not even a clear plan. But there was one thing I had, the desire to make a difference. As I often say, the horizon is never static, it moves with you. You need to act now, even if the ground doesn't seem ideal. Many of us spend our lives waiting for the perfect moment. But here's the truth. The perfect moment is an illusion. Technology, the economy, the market, none of these will stop so you can feel ready. If you don't act now, someone else will. I wonder, how many times have you postponed your dreams, waiting for the right time? At Alibaba, we started without even a proper office. We worked in a small apartment, sharing tasks while struggling to understand how to make the internet relevant to small businesses. There was no guarantee of success, but we knew we couldn't wait. As I often say, if not now, when? If not me, who? You can plan as much as you like, but the future is built on the actions of today, not on the plans of tomorrow. So, I ask you, what are you doing right now to shape your future? It doesn't matter where you are or what resources you have. The future belongs to those who decide to act, even if it seems small or insignificant, because it's in today's quiet steps that the foundation for tomorrow's great achievements is built. You know, I see so many people spending so much time planning that they never actually take action. It's like spending years creating a detailed map for a journey, but never stepping out of the house. When we founded Alibaba, there were so many uncertainties. There wasn't advanced technology or a clear market for e-commerce in China, but we had one conviction. Starting was more important than being perfect. Think about it. What's the point of the most sophisticated plan if you never take the first step? I compare inaction to an athlete training without ever competing. You could have incredible skills, but without real practice, those skills won't generate results. That's why, at the beginning, our team didn't focus on limitations. We started with what we had, even if it seemed insignificant. Looking back, I see that the mistakes we made taught us more than any plan could. Because the truth is, great achievements come from continuous progress, not static plans. Have you stopped to think about what's holding you back? Is it the fear of failure, the quest for perfection, or maybe the doubt about where to begin? I often say that you'll never feel completely ready, and that's okay. Start with what you know now, and trust that you'll learn along the way. When you stumble, it means you're moving forward. Once someone asked me, Jack, how did you have the courage to launch something so ambitious without any guarantees of success? My answer was simple. I would rather fail trying than remain stuck waiting. Action, even if imperfect, moves you forward. It's like adjusting the sails of a boat in the middle of a storm. You don't need a clear sky. You just need to start rowing. So what will you do today? Don't wait for ideal conditions because they don't exist. Take the first step, no matter how small it seems. Remember, every attempt, every mistake, every moment of courage is what creates the path to success. The question is, are you willing to start now? When Alibaba began, the landscape was chaotic. The internet was just emerging in China, and no one was sure if e-commerce had a future. Investors saw us as dreamers without direction. But for me, chaos was precisely where opportunities flourished. I believe that when the world is confused, the most creative people find solutions. After all, it's in the middle of a storm that you adjust your sails, isn't it? Think about how Singles' Day became the largest shopping event in the world. At first, it seemed like a crazy idea. A massive shopping day for the Chinese public with no history of large-scale consumption. Many thought it was impossible, but we saw something different. The chaos of uncertainty created the space for innovation. It was like turning an empty field into a thriving forest. Have you ever wondered how many opportunities are hidden in the chaos around you? Often people see disorder as an obstacle, but I see it as a chance to grow. I remember thinking, if we want to catch the rabbit, we need to adapt to the environment, not try to change the rabbit. External conditions are rarely under our control, but our ability to adapt is. That's why chaos isn't something to fear, but to embrace. It forces you to think outside the box. One example of this was when we faced major doubts about the digital market. Competitors had more resources, but we had something they didn't: the willingness to learn and adapt quickly. Every challenge felt like a puzzle, and every piece we placed brought us closer to success. Uncertainty didn't paralyze us. It energized us to move forward. So, what are you doing with the chaos around you? Are you running from it or looking for the opportunities hidden within it? Remember, chaos is an invitation to act, not a reason to give up. The greatest innovations are born in times of disorder. When I tell people that I was rejected 10 times by Harvard and even turned down for a job at KFC, they laugh. But I didn't let rejection define me. To me, failure is a teacher, not a punishment. In the early days of Alibaba, rejection was constant. Investors doubted the potential of the business, but every no helped refine my vision. The truth is, the fear of failure is a much bigger enemy than failure itself. I often tell people that when you're poor, having a dream means you'll never feel truly poor. A dream gives you purpose, and purpose gives you energy. Failure is just part of the process. When we were building Alibaba, the setbacks felt personal, but they also became my fuel. Instead of letting them weigh me down, I used them to push forward, like a runner who uses resistance to build strength. Think about it. How do you view failure? Is it something to avoid or something to embrace? The way I see it, every mistake is like a mirror. It shows you what needs improvement. It's not the end of the road. It's just a detour. And sometimes detours lead to the most beautiful destinations. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned is that rejection isn't permanent. It's just feedback. If you fail, it means you tried. And if you tried, you learned something valuable. The biggest failure is not trying at all. It's the fear that holds you back, not the fall itself. So the next time you face rejection, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Don't let failure stop you. Let it shape you. Every no is an opportunity to sharpen your skills and clarify your path. The real question is, are you ready to let failure be your greatest teacher? Success doesn't happen in the spotlight. It's built behind the scenes. I remember the long nights working silently, even when no one believed in me. Those were the moments when Alibaba took shape. It's like an athlete training before a big competition. The unseen effort is what creates visible results. Discipline in solitude is what builds success. When you work without recognition, it's easy to feel like your efforts don't matter. But let me tell you something, they do. Every late night, every quiet sacrifice, every decision to keep going when no one else sees, those are the moments that define your future. The question is, are you willing to work in the shadows for the success you dream of? I often compare this to building a wall. You lay one brick at a time, and at first it looks like nothing. But over time, those bricks become a strong, towering structure. The same is true for your goals. Progress might feel slow, but every small step matters. People often look at success and think it happened overnight, but success is never overnight. It's built in the quiet hours when no one is paying attention. It's the mornings when you wake up early to learn something new, or the evenings when you push a little harder. Those are the moments that count. So, what are you doing when no one is watching? The spotlight doesn't create greatness. The quiet, consistent effort does. Remember, the progress you make today, even in silence, is what builds the results you'll celebrate tomorrow. Many people believe the perfect moment lies somewhere in the future. But let me tell you, that belief is a trap. I've learned that waiting for the right conditions is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. When we started Alibaba, the environment was far from ideal. We faced challenges with technology, limited resources, and a lack of belief from others, but we decided to act anyway. If we had waited, we might still be waiting today. I often ask, if you want to catch the rabbit, why wait for it to slow down? You have to adapt to its speed. Life doesn't pause so you can feel ready. The conditions will never be perfect, and if you keep waiting, you'll let the opportunity pass. Acting in the face of uncertainty may seem risky, but it's far riskier to do nothing at all. Think about how often we fall into the cycle of hesitation. We tell ourselves, tomorrow will be better, or I'll start next week. But the truth is, every day you wait is a day lost. The only time you truly have is now. The first step doesn't have to be big or flawless. It just has to be taken. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single, imperfect step. When we launched Alibaba, people laughed at us. The internet in China was slow, and small businesses weren't sure if they even needed to go online. But we didn't let those doubts stop us. Instead, we chose to believe that the moment was right, even if it didn't look that way. The willingness to act gave us a head start, and over time, it led to breakthroughs we couldn't have imagined at the beginning. So, let me ask you, why wait? The perfect moment doesn't exist, but progress does. Take action now, even if the path ahead seems unclear. Remember, it's not about being flawless. It's about breaking free from the cycle of waiting and creating momentum that can change everything. I believe that true transformation happens in the quiet moments when no one is watching. In the early days of Alibaba, our team worked tirelessly, often without recognition or encouragement. But we stayed focused on our goal, brick by brick, day by day. That's how discipline works. It doesn't give you instant rewards, but over time, it creates extraordinary results. Imagine you're building a wall. You lay one brick at a time, carefully and consistently. At first, it feels like progress is slow, and it's easy to get discouraged. But with patience, those bricks start forming something solid and lasting. That's what discipline does. It transforms small, consistent actions into the foundation for greatness. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays with you. It's the decision to wake up early and learn something new, even when you'd rather sleep. It's the commitment to stick to your plan, even when progress feels invisible. In those moments, you're not just working, you're shaping your character, your future, and your dreams. At Alibaba, we often worked long nights, even when no one believed in us. We knew that the silent effort we were putting in would one day speak for itself, and it did. The results may take time, but the seeds of greatness are always planted in those quiet, unnoticed moments. What are you dedicating your time and effort to? Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's not glamorous, but it's powerful. Every small action adds up, even when no one is clapping for you. Keep building brick by brick. For many years, I thought failure was the enemy. I learned the hard way that it's not failure you should fear. It's the fear of failing. That fear can paralyze you, keeping you from taking the risks that lead to growth. I faced rejection so many times, from Harvard, from jobs, from investors, but every rejection taught me something valuable. The truth is, failure isn't the end. It's just a redirection. Every time I heard no, it gave me a chance to refine my vision, my strategy, and my resilience. Think of failure as a wise teacher. It doesn't punish you. It teaches you what to do differently next time. What matters isn't falling. It's whether you stand back up. At Alibaba, we faced constant skepticism. Investors doubted our ability to compete against global giants. But instead of letting those doubts stop us, we used them as fuel. Every failure sharpened our determination like a sword forged in fire. Fear loses its power when you see failure as part of the journey, not the end of it. I always say that when you're poor, having a dream can make you feel rich. A dream gives you purpose, and purpose gives you courage. Failure might knock you down, but it can never take away your dream. As long as you hold on to that, you'll always have the strength to try again. So, how do you face failure? Do you let it stop you, or do you let it push you forward? Remember, the greatest mistake isn't failing, it's not trying. Every rejection is an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. Don't let fear hold you back from chasing your dreams. The hardest part of any journey is the first step. I remember when we started Alibaba in a small apartment with almost no resources. We didn't have much money or technology, but we had something more important, a dream. That dream became the foundation of everything we built. Starting something new can feel overwhelming, like standing at the base of a massive mountain. But here's the secret. You don't climb a mountain by focusing on the summit. You climb it by taking one small step after another. Each step brings you closer to your goal, no matter how far away it seems. I often tell people that perfection is a myth. Waiting until you're completely ready is a mistake that keeps you stuck in place. The truth is, you'll never feel 100% prepared, but you don't need to be perfect to start. Take action, even if it's messy or uncertain. Progress comes from moving forward, not from standing still. When we launched Alibaba, the odds were against us, but we didn't let that stop us. We believed that small, consistent efforts could create something extraordinary, and they did. Each challenge we faced became a stepping stone to the next level of growth. So, are you ready to take your first step? It doesn't matter how small or imperfect it is. What matters is that you begin. Every journey starts with a single step, and every step brings you closer to turning your dream into reality. The hardest part of any journey is taking the first step. I still remember the early days of Alibaba when we worked from a small apartment with almost no resources. We didn't have the funds, the technology, or even the experience. But what we did have was a dream and the courage to take the first step toward making it real. That first step wasn't perfect, but it was the most important. Starting something new often feels overwhelming, like standing at the base of a mountain and looking up at an impossible climb. But here's the truth. You don't conquer a mountain by staring at its peak. You conquer it one step at a time. Every single action, no matter how small, brings you closer to the summit. I believe many people delay their dreams because they think they need to have all the answers before they start. But the reality is, perfection is a myth. You'll never feel 100% ready, and that's okay. What matters is the willingness to begin, to try, to fail, and to grow. Action is the antidote to fear and doubt. When we launched Alibaba, we didn't wait for the perfect conditions. We worked with what we had, making mistakes along the way, but learning from each one. Every misstep was a step forward. As I often remind people, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It's not about getting everything right. It's about having the courage to start moving. So what's stopping you from taking that first step? Don't let fear or uncertainty hold you back. Start small, start messy, but start. The momentum you create today will carry you toward the future you've always dreamed of. Time is the most valuable resource we have. In the early days of Alibaba, I didn't have money, connections, or technical skills, but I had time. I used that time to learn, grow, and build something meaningful. You can lose money and earn it back, but wasted time is gone forever. How are you spending yours? Many people underestimate the power of small, consistent investments of time. It's like planting a seed. You don't see the results immediately, but with patience and care, that seed grows into something extraordinary. Each minute you spend improving yourself, working on your dream, or learning a new skill compounds over time. I've noticed that people often get caught up in distractions. Social media, endless scrolling, and other time wasters take away the hours you could be using to build your future. The question is, are you investing your time or spending it? Remember, the way you use your time today shapes the future you'll live in tomorrow. At Alibaba, we treated every hour as an opportunity. Even when progress seemed slow, we stayed focused on our long-term goals. It wasn't easy, but the effort paid off. Time, when used wisely, multiplies results, I often say. The key is to prioritize what truly matters and let go of what doesn't. Are you using your time to build something meaningful? Or are you letting it slip away on things that don't bring value to your life? Time is the one wealth you can control. Make sure you're spending it wisely. Mine, while most people run from chaos, I believe it's where the best opportunities are born. When we started Alibaba, the landscape was full of uncertainty. The internet was still new in China, and many doubted whether small businesses would ever go online. But instead of seeing chaos as a threat, we saw it as an invitation to innovate. Singles Day, which became the world's largest shopping event, started during a period of doubt and resistance. Many people thought the idea was too risky, but we leaned into the uncertainty and turned it into something extraordinary. Chaos can be like a storm. It's intimidating, but it's also the perfect moment to adjust your sails and find a new direction. The key is to shift your mindset. Instead of fearing the unknown, embrace it as an opportunity to think creatively and find solutions. At Alibaba, we thrived because we didn't see disorder as a problem. We saw it as fertile ground for growth. It's in these unpredictable moments that you can find the breakthroughs others miss. I often say, when the world is in chaos, it's your chance to act. If you wait for everything to settle, you'll miss the window of opportunity. The truth is, innovation rarely happens in comfortable, predictable situations. It's born out of the need to adapt and evolve. What chaos are you facing right now? Instead of running from it, ask yourself what opportunities might be hidden within. Remember, some of the greatest achievements in history were born from uncertainty. People often ask me how we built Alibaba into one of the largest companies in the world. The answer is simple: one small step at a time. When we started, there were no grand victories or massive breakthroughs. It was the small, consistent actions we took every day that added up to something extraordinary. I like to compare this to planting seeds. Each step, no matter how small, is like planting a seed in the ground. At first, you see nothing, but with time, care, and persistence, those seeds grow into a flourishing tree. The same applies to your dreams. Progress may be slow, but every action you take moves you closer to your goal. Many people give up because they want quick results. But success doesn't work that way. It's not about instant gratification. It's about long-term commitment. At Alibaba, we kept moving forward, even when progress felt invisible. And over time, those small efforts compounded into something far greater than we imagined. The key is to stay consistent. Don't underestimate the power of small steps. They may seem insignificant today, but they're laying the foundation for something much bigger. Every day, every decision, every action matters. So, what small step can you take today? Don't wait for a giant leap. Start with something manageable. Great achievements aren't built overnight. They're built piece by piece, one step at a time. Perfection is the biggest myth holding people back. When we launched Alibaba, nothing was perfect. The technology was basic, resources were scarce, and mistakes were frequent. But we didn't let that stop us. Instead, we acted anyway, knowing that progress comes from doing, not from waiting for perfection. I often compare starting something new to learning how to ride a bike. You're going to fall. You'll make mistakes. And there will be moments when you doubt yourself. But it's through those attempts, those imperfect tries, that you improve. Progress doesn't come from perfection. It comes from the courage to begin, I like to say. Many people wait until they feel completely ready. But here's the truth. You'll never feel 100% prepared. The perfect time doesn't exist. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. It's better to begin with flaws and improve along the way than to spend your life waiting for conditions that will never arrive. When we built Alibaba, we knew we'd make mistakes, and we did. But every mistake taught us something valuable. Those lessons shaped the company and made us stronger. If we had waited for everything to be perfect, we might still be waiting today. What dream have you been putting off because you're waiting to feel ready? Start now. Start imperfectly. The action you take today will lead to the growth and success you dream of tomorrow. Wax. One thing I've learned over the years is that success is not a solo journey. When we started Alibaba, we were just a group of ordinary people with an extraordinary vision. None of us were particularly talented on our own, but together we created something remarkable. It's true what they say. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. At Alibaba, we focused on building a culture of collaboration from the start. I encouraged my team to share ideas openly, support one another, and work toward a common goal. It wasn't about who was the smartest or the most skilled. It was about how we could combine our strengths to create something bigger than ourselves. That's the power of teamwork. Many people think success is about individual brilliance, but I believe emotional intelligence and the ability to work with others are far more important. A leader's job is to create an environment where everyone can thrive. When people feel valued and supported, they bring their best to the table. I always tell my team that success is like building a bridge. It takes the effort of many hands working together to lay each plank. No one person can do it alone. Collaboration multiplies your impact and allows you to overcome challenges that would be impossible on your own. So, who are you working with to achieve your goals? Are you building strong connections and empowering others to contribute? Remember, the greatest successes are always shared. Together, you can achieve far more than you ever could alone. And so, doubt is a constant companion for anyone chasing big dreams. When we started Alibaba, almost everyone doubted us. Investors, colleagues, even friends. I can't tell you how many times I heard, "Jack, this will never work." But here's what I learned. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to act despite it. I've always believed that doubts are opportunities in disguise. They challenge you to prove yourself, to refine your vision, and to grow stronger. At Alibaba, we faced countless uncertainties, but we didn't let them stop us. Instead, we embraced them as part of the journey. Every doubt we overcame became a stepping stone to something greater. Think of doubt as a test of your resilience. Will you let it paralyze you, or will you rise above it? Acting in the face of uncertainty is what separates dreamers from doers. It's like stepping into the fog. You may not see the whole path, but every step forward brings clarity. When I look back, I realized that some of our greatest achievements at Alibaba came from moments of doubt. It was in those uncertain times that we found the courage to innovate and take risks. Doubt didn't weaken us, it made us stronger. What doubts are holding you back right now? Instead of fearing them, see them as opportunities to grow. Remember, the courage to act despite uncertainty is what leads to breakthroughs. Great achievements often begin in the most humble circumstances. When we founded Alibaba, we had no office, no funding, and very little support. Our headquarters was my apartment. But those early days, as modest as they were, laid the foundation for everything we built. I often compare this stage to planting seeds. At first, it doesn't look like much. You work hard, and there's little visible progress. But every effort, every small step, is preparing the ground for something extraordinary. Over time, those seeds grow, and the results become undeniable. Many people overlook the importance of building a strong foundation. They focus on quick wins or big goals, but they forget that true success is built from the ground up. At Alibaba, we spent years refining our processes, learning from our mistakes, and staying focused on our long-term vision. That foundation is what allowed us to grow sustainably. I believe it's not about how big you start, it's about how strong you build. Even the tallest buildings depend on the strength of their foundations. Every small action, every lesson learned, and every bit of effort contributes to the bigger picture. So, how are you building your foundation? Don't underestimate the power of small beginnings. What seems insignificant today can become the cornerstone of something extraordinary tomorrow. In Xiao, time is the one resource you can never get back. In my early days, I didn't have money, connections, or even expertise, but I had time and I made the most of it. That's the secret. It's not how much time you have, it's how wisely you use it. I often think of time as a currency. Every minute you spend is an investment in your future or a missed opportunity. Are you spending your time on things that matter, or are you letting it slip away on distractions? The way you use your time today determines the future you'll live in tomorrow. At Alibaba, we were relentless about making the most of our time. Even when we didn't see immediate results, we stayed focused on learning, improving, and taking action. Each day was an opportunity to plant seeds that would eventually grow into something much bigger. Distractions are everywhere, and it's easy to fall into the trap of wasting time. Social media, endless scrolling, and other time wasters steal precious moments that could be used for growth. The key is to prioritize what truly matters and let go of what doesn't. What are you doing with the time you have today? Time is the most valuable wealth you own, and it's entirely within your control. Use it wisely, because every minute is an opportunity to build the life you want. The work you do today may seem small, even invisible, but it's what creates extraordinary results in the future. In the early days of Alibaba, no one noticed our efforts. We spent years working tirelessly, building systems and refining our vision. But those quiet efforts became the foundation for everything we achieved. I often compare this to a farmer planting seeds. At first you see nothing, no growth, no results. But with patience and care, those seeds eventually turn into a bountiful harvest. The same principle applies to success. The results of your efforts today might not be visible now, but they will come. It's tempting to focus on instant gratification, but true success is built on long-term vision. At Alibaba, we didn't chase quick wins. We focused on creating value, knowing that the rewards would come in time. That's the difference between dreaming and building. The question is, are you planting the seeds for your future, or are you waiting for success to come to you? What you build today may seem small, but it has the potential to grow into something far greater than you can imagine. So, what are you creating right now? Even if no one notices, even if it feels insignificant, keep building. The future belongs to those who have the patience and persistence to act today, not just dream about tomorrow.
Jack Ma's latest talk left the audience captivated, inspiring them to rethink everything they thought they knew about personal development and success. Known as the charismatic co-founder of Alibaba, Jack Ma shared powerful insights into why perfection is a myth and how action, even in the face of uncertainty, leads to greatness. The audience was moved by his journey from repeated failures to building one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the world. He spoke passionately about the importance of building your future today, reminding everyone that the perfect moment never arrives. If not now, when? If not me, who? These words echoed through the room, challenging listeners to break free from the cycle of waiting and take that crucial first step. Jack Ma's message was clear. Success is born from courage, consistency, and the ability to embrace failure as a teacher. Jack Ma also captivated the crowd with stories of how chaos can be a breeding ground for opportunities. He shared how the initial uncertainties surrounding Alibaba became the fertile soil for innovation and growth. His words, "It's in the middle of the storm that you adjust your sails," inspired entrepreneurs, students, and dreamers alike to look at adversity as an invitation to act rather than a barrier to success. Another highlight of the talk was Jack Ma's emphasis on the unseen effort that builds greatness. He compared success to laying bricks for a wall, slow and often unnoticed but eventually forming something extraordinary. His insights resonated deeply with those striving for personal growth and long-term transformation. What made this talk even more impactful was Jack Ma's vulnerability. He openly shared how his numerous rejections from jobs, universities, and investors shaped him into the resilient leader he is today. His ability to turn failure into fuel for growth left the audience reflecting on their own setbacks and how they could use them as stepping stones. Jack Ma didn't just inspire, he provided actionable advice. From using discipline to master time management to seizing opportunities in the most chaotic times, he gave practical tools for self-improvement. He reminded everyone that even the smallest step today can lead to extraordinary achievements tomorrow. As the talk concluded, one question lingered in the minds of the audience: am I ready to stop waiting and start building my future now? Jack Ma's thought-provoking words encouraged everyone to take ownership of their dreams, reminding them that success isn't about being perfect, it's about having the courage to begin. For those who missed this incredible session, this video captures all the transformative lessons shared by Jack Ma. Prepare to be inspired, challenged, and equipped to take action today, not tomorrow. Now that you've explored the profound lessons shared by Jack Ma, it's time to reflect and take action. What step will you take today to build your future? Will you finally start that project you've been dreaming about or embrace the chaos around you to uncover new opportunities? Remember, waiting for perfection is the surest way to stay in place. The real magic begins when you start moving forward, even if it's just a small step. Think about the challenges you've faced recently. Are they barriers or could they be the very opportunities you need to grow? Jack Ma's journey proves that failure is not the end but the beginning. Each rejection, each misstep, is a lesson in disguise, pushing you closer to your goals if you dare to keep going. So, what's holding you back? Share in the comments the insight that resonated with you the most. Was it the power of starting now? The importance of discipline? Or the realization that chaos can lead to breakthroughs? Let's turn this inspiration into action. And if you ever need a reminder of these lessons, come back to this video. Save it, rewatch it, and keep it as your source of motivation whenever self-doubt creeps in. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel right now. You might not find it again later. Plus, hit the notification bell so you'll never miss out on more life-changing advice like this. Finally, be sure to check out our next video, 10 Steps to Mold Your Own Future, Lessons from Jack Ma, for even more insights that will help you stay inspired and keep growing. Your future self will thank you for taking action today.